just talk about that.
How sweaty does your hand get in that chainsaw?
Wow. Wow. I love it.
Yes, Bruce, how sweaty does it get?
I'm gonna hit him with a real practical question about a saw. Well, it's...
Bruce, 1 to 10. That's what we want.
Well,
1, not at all. 10, vile and disgusting that no one wants to touch it when you pull
again,
it off.
I share perspective. The old days, you'd kind of shove your hand into the actual carriage of a chainsaw, and when it ran, your hand would heat up and become slowly paralyzed over the course of months. And then they would get a new one that was hollowed out, and it had a lot of edges in there that the guy who hollowed it out was not really a specialist. He just pulled crap out. So when you put your hand in to grab a thing, all day long you cut your hand on horrible shards, but it didn't matter because your hand was paralyzed from the heat from before. And then finally they had a gripper. The Ash vs. Evil Dead, they had an actual gripper. It was like a bicycle grip. So you could put your hand in there, and they had finally perfected the very lightweight chainsaw and shotguns, and then we were canceled. But great credit to the craftsmen, because the guns were always a pain in the ass. Because here's the truth. I know everyone here, you're all so badass. But just hold a real shotgun out for like 30 seconds. You're going to start, you ain't going to be Jean-Claude Van Damme for long. You're going to start doing the quiver, and you're doing that all day long. So in New Zealand, great craftsmen, right, Ted?
Great.
I mean,
yeah, amazing.
So I had shotguns and chainsaws that were like high, medium, and low. And I'd come in every season, and the prop guys were literally like, "Oh yeah, Bruce, we've done some refinements," and it was like James Bond. They were Q,
Yeah.
Look, we've done here. The blood will spurt out here much more efficiently this year. Battery twice the length of it was last season.
They were so excited.
Yeah.
I was too. And then we got canceled.
Now, we're going to give you one final question, and we did love your other questions about your
Really
hysterical
insightful.
sobbing.
Very good.
That was really only half an hour, and sweaty palms. But other than that, do you have any other questions? You have one more chance.
How long does it take to wash the fake blood out of the tub? Or shower?
You want to know how long the shower takes to get cleaned, or how long we take to get cleaned
Ted,
in the shower?
Ted, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one, and you tell maybe Henrietta.
Sure.
And I'll tell an Ash.
Sure.
Because Ted has Henrietta, playing Henrietta, possessed Henrietta.
Sure. Thank you.
In Evil Dead 2. Certainly top 5 of creature discomfort performances. So I'm sure Ted has some discomfort performances.
Well,
It took a long time.
Okay, sure. Well, let's start with Evil Dead, the TV show. When I was doing it, I was first playing Chet, and then the executive producer, Rob Tappert, came up to me and said, I know a way you can even do more work and make more money. I went, you do? Thinking, I'm going to get a monologue now. This is great. Chet is finally going to get his own episode.
He's going to be a regular.
The Chet Show, I'm thinking.
The spin-off.
I'm coming up with logos, and it's going to be great. You're going to go and you're going to play Henrietta again. I said, what? That shit almost killed me when I was 20. I'm 50 now. Are you out of your mind? That's going to destroy me. And he went, oh, no, prosthetics have come a long way since then. The glue that they use isn't even the same thing. I'm like, it's not? Oh, no, it's comfortable and cool. You'll love it. So I go in for a makeup test. It's the worst, most horrible, sticky, it's just glue. Glue doesn't change ever. What they used in Roman times, they're still using today. You might as well have used a glue gun on my face. It's just, that crap is horrible. Anyone who wears prosthetics will tell you, the only person who doesn't seem to mind them, that's in the same boat as me, is the guy who came here, a wonderful and amazing actor, Doug Jones. And you ask Doug, you go, Doug, you don't mind that stuff? Oh, no, I don't mind it at all. When I put that stuff, it changes me into a different character, and I love it. And I go, wow, you're fucking nuts. That's all you are. Because that shit's the worst. Anyway, so we get about getting Henrietta, which is half glue. It was just the costume that headpiece, several pieces to complete that. eye sclera lenses, earpieces, about a dozen pieces glued onto my face and body, and on top of that, drenched in blood. In fact, there we were. And I remember shooting, as a side story, one day, Bruce and I were doing, recreating almost the famous basement battle, the cellar battle between Henrietta and Ash in the TV show, a rather extended version of it. Bruce was standing in front of me. This is about 2 years ago. I was in front of him. Bruce was wearing his Ash costume, the chainsaw. I was in the Henrietta costume. And Bruce looked at me and said, "Well, Ted, we've come a long way in 30 years." That's a true story.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, we were killing it, weren't we,
Well,
Ted?
it's like advancing from 7-Eleven clerk to 7-Eleven delivery man in 30 years. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it, but you ain't getting far.
Oh, yeah.
So to get that crap off was about a 2 hour and a half to 2 hours to remove it, then a bath in scalding hot water at that point, and then I could limp home. That's how that goes.
Nice.
So that was, but while I only had to do that like for 2 or 3 days, Bruce, that was a daily occurrence to get that blood off of him.
Well, back in the first Evil Dead, we would film at an actual remote cabin that had no water, no running water, no electricity, no phone, just scary people who lived nearby. It was an actual piece of property in remote Tennessee. And so no facilities per se. So we're done shooting all night, and it was very cold because the shoot got delayed, and it became a very cold Tennessee winter. So I'd be covered in blood, and probably wasn't a good idea to sit inside the truck. So I'll just sit in the bed of the truck on the way back, the metal bed. I'll just ride in the back of the truck. And we were in the Bible Belt. And we shot all night. Sun's coming up through the beautiful trees in the morning. Riding home, coming around the country corner, and there's the family out with the King James Version under their arms, looking over, going, brrrr, as they go into slow motion, as I'm like the Texas Chainsaw Killer, you know, watching them in slow motion going past, completely covered in blood. It was like covering the little Billy's eyes, you know, don't look, may Jesus save you! As we're going past. So the only solution there was to turn on the shower and wait as hot as it got. And it wasn't about being scalded. At that point, you were looking for scald. Because scald got it off. Because I was tired of having all the hair on my arms being ripped off every time I would go to scratch my head. So you just waited with scalding and then step in and then just start cooking yourself from the inside. And you sort of start squishing around in there. And then you can kind of weasel out of it. And there are many analogies that are not appropriate. But yeah, those are the actor's finest moments. But we do it for the magic that is created on screen.